Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. So, you guys get comfortable, okay? Get on in here. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. This is a review for Queens, okay? Season 1, episode 11. I'm a slave for you, okay? They was basically doing a little bit of homage to Britney Spears in this, okay? And giving us some Hannah Montana. I was confused as hell when the episode started. I was like, well, wait a minute. I thought this was Queens. What the hell is going on here? I'm like, what is this, child? Okay, y'all told me Queens was coming on. And I ain't know what the heck it was that was playing. But come to find out, this was just how the episode started. Because I definitely was like, who the hell is these people? So we start out, meeting this girl named Madison. Who basically, is, I guess like a child star or whatever. And we start with a school bus pulling up, and she's like, the girls are telling her, oh, you better go to another school, you don't belong to this school. And she's like, oh, why would you say that? And then they basically repeat back to her what she said, and she was like, oh, well, that just sounds like a really good impression. You just basically said the same thing that I said, but in a different way. And she's like, well, how about I use some magic and make you freeze, and taking a wand out her bag. So like I said, I was mad confused, like, what the hell is going on here, okay? But then we see her, basically then getting arrested, and Jill coming to bail her out. And I'm like, what the hell? Okay. And so, when she first sees Jill, she's like, what are you doing here? Whatever the case may be. And she was like, I'm the one, that bailed you out, and you got reporters everywhere saying, why did you do it? And, what does your mom have to say? And asking her a whole bunch of questions. And then we got a Hannah Montana song playing in the background. And, she's asking Jill, why did you bail me out? And she's like, because I want to sign you to Nasty Girl Records. So we know that they were supposed to be getting different girls, but I was under the impression that this was supposed to be all rappers. I guess not. And so then we see 3 days earlier. And we basically got Valeria at the table with Naomi, Jill, and E-Rock. And they discussing, the fact that Lady Z song has 6 million streams. They like, yes. They like, that's a great start. And we got to keep the momentum going. And they basically need to have, some other artists join. And also they saying that Valeria needs to come on and drop her album early. And she's like, no, it's not ready. I can't do that. She was like, I love making music, but I got to do it the right way. And I want to do something that I'm proud of. And, a whole nother thing and all this other stuff. And she was like, Naomi was just telling her, like, girl, don't trip. All your stuff gonna come out good. Don't even worry about that. And so E-Rock tells her about this guy that's like the king on the Latin charts right now. And she was like, what? She was like, yes, I would love that. She was like, I got to represent for my Puerto Ricans. And so basically they were saying that they could probably, have them collab like Latin artists. And she could be recognized as a Latin artist, I should say. And so she's like, this is amazing. And she says that she wants to do her rap in Spanish. And so basically E-Rock is telling her that's a hit. Her and Naomi is high fiving. They like, okay, but we still gotta sell out some arenas, and she was like, touring is real, the real money is at. And then they said, they gotta get a raw talent, a forgotten talent, somebody that they could turn into a star. And so they basically was saying that, Jill says that she's gonna be the one to find the person or whatever the case may be. And so she was like, I'll make a living somehow, because E-Rock was like, don't you have, the acting thing that you're doing right now. And so the next thing we see her and Jill on the set of a show. Jill and her is going over the lines, and, they're filming. They have to keep saying cut. She keeps apologizing and, having to start the line over. And all of a sudden, her mom comes over and gives her this medication. And Jill is just giving the side eye, like, okay. And so, we then have Valeria in the studio. She's happy to work with, like I said, the Puerto Rican roots. She wants to rap in Spanish. She's telling the guy all about this. And he's saying, well, no, she was like, oh, I know, you just thought I was another green guy. And he was like, yeah, I'm not trying to offend you or nothing, but pretty much. And he says that he wants to rap how he wants it or bounce. Bottom line, he getting straight to the point. He ain't got the time to, no time to play games. And so in the meantime, Naomi is still looking for artists, and she gets a call from the dean in the middle of her looking, and the next thing you know, she finds out that JoJo done missed 2 damn months of school. And she like, JoJo, what the hell is your problem? What is wrong with you? Why are you missing two, months out of school and we don't know nothing about it? And so JoJo tells, Naomi and E-Rock that she wants to be a rapper. And she was like, okay, well, if you want to be a rapper, you can still be a rapper and go to school. I'm not understanding why that means that you have to drop out of school, and you love that school and you work so hard to get in there, and basically you so good with music and whatever have you. I would think that you would want to get your degree. And so basically, of course, she's like against it, and E-Rock is more so, of course, being a friend, because it's like this is new to him, and he probably feels like he's making up for lost time, and then the daddy's little girl and all of that kind of stuff. And so JoJo gets mad and leaves out, and E-Rock basically says to Naomi, like, I know I gotta be her dad, not her friend. And he was like, let her cool down and calm down, and then we all could talk. And he was like, basically, we a team, we gotta be on the same page. And then he's like, team, and then she's like, team, and they basically, give each other a pound. And so then we have Jill talk to Madison, knock at her trailer and ask her could she take her for a walk, and she either gets her some coffee, some tea, or something like that. And Madison is basically like, well, what made you come and want to walk with me or whatever? And she was like, I guess Jill sees something in her that makes her think about her family or whatever. And she does thank Jill for, having her buying her the drink or whatever. And she was like, well, you can't never go nowhere without your mother's permission and go for a walk without your mother knowing. And she was like, no, not really. And so Jill was trying to tell her that she have choices and that she don't have to always do what her mother want her to do. And she was like, no, yeah, I do. And at first she's like, no, I don't even think I should be talking to you about this. And then Jill is like, sometimes talking to, strangers help more than you know. Maybe you should be talking to me. Which that could be true sometimes, but I just feel like Jill is butting her damn, business in way too much. Like, I think, like I said, she's feeling whatever she feels she went through with her family, because she even turns and says to the girl, like, trust me, I spent over 40 years, catering to my family and doing what they wanted me to do or whatever the case may be. So you should go ahead and, like, make your stand and say what you want and what you don't want now. You know what I'm saying? And so then we had Naomi coming out and breaking on Valeria, because Valeria ended up getting kicked out the damn studio, y'all, because I guess she left because she wanted to go ahead and sing this damn song, rap this song in Spanish, and the guy wasn't with it. And so basically, Naomi is like, how the hell you gonna mess us up when we already behind, we not making no money, we really needed this, I told you before you went there to the studio. And she's telling her, like, this is something that really means a lot to me. I really got my mind focused on, doing this. I see what I want to do. I see the area I want to go in. And she was like, it's funny because when it's something that you want and you believe in, then it's a completely different story. But for all of us, we just supposed to do whatever. And so then she also mentions that, JoJo wants to do the music thing. And she's like, oh, well, go ahead. Let her do it. What's the problem? And she was like, oh, you sound like E-Rock. And when she says that she sounds like E-Rock, all of a sudden she changes it and was like, well, maybe it is a bad idea then. And, I take that back or whatever, because she ain't want to seem like she was, siding with E-Rock. And so then Naomi is asking her, can she just save the Spanish music for the next time around or whatever the case may be for her next album. And of course, like I said, Valerie is just pretty much like, this is something that I really want to fight for. I don't usually fight for different things that I be wanting, but right now this is what I want. And I'm serious about it. And she's feeling like Naomi is not listening to her. And so then JoJo comes in the studio to talk to E-Rock or whatever. And she's basically just reiterating the way that she feels. And she's like, at least give me a chance. Hear my song. I feel like I'm good enough that I would make it and that I don't need school and things like that. And he's like, I'm not making no promises. He said, okay, I'll let you go ahead and get in the studio or whatever and run this track. And if it's not good, then I'm throwing it in the garbage. I'm going to keep it real with you. You won't be in there as my daughter, you'll be in there as an artist. And so she basically was like, okay. And when she gets in there, she actually does sound good, y'all. She was reminding me of somebody. I can't think of quite who yet, but the voice was a little familiar to me, or whatever the case may be. But I'm still confused as to why she needs to drop out of school in order for her to want to do the music thing. And he basically had told her, like, let's see what you got. So then the next thing you know, Jill keeps butting her damn business into this damn girl's life. She tells her she's going to help her fight because we find out that she's going through a conservatorship, right? Like Brittany, right? And so she basically is like, I'm going to help you fight, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, okay, Jill, I hope you know what the hell you getting into. And so then we had JoJo, sitting with E-Rock, and they listening to the song, and he's saying, okay, but I really want to speak to, your mom about this before we do anything. It did sound good, but I'm not going to put anything out there without talking to your mom first. And he ends up basically having to step away for a minute, and when he gets up, JoJo behind gonna put the song out anyway. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I was like, okay, now JoJo, you doing the most. And then Jill is telling the girls about how Madison is this good, honest person. And in the meantime, Valeria looks on her phone and was like, oh, well, she just got arrested for shoplifting. And then Jill is like, damn, because of course she's trying to talk them into, supporting her and getting behind the fact that she wants to help this girl. And she's trying to sell her as this good artist and everything. And then when Valeria looks on the phone, they see that she was arrested. So, of course, that's how Jill had ended up going and bailing her out. And then she gets, when she does come back with Jill to the place where they practice at, she starts performing for them, and she does kill it. And they like, whoa, okay, all the girls is feeling it, because at first they was arguing like, this is not the type of artist we go for, and this is not what we wanted. And she was like, well, don't we talk about empowering women? So Jill is really going hard for this girl and really wanting her to be on, and it seems like the performance is going good, and they starting to get interested in her. And so after she performs the daggone song, here come her mother. Now, she ain't come to bail her out, but she comes with a whole bunch of police to approach Jill and them, and basically was like, you didn't have, any permission to be taking my daughter anywhere, and I can have the cops arrest you right now, and all this different stuff. And then at one point, Madison asked her mom if she could say bye to them first before they, move on anywhere, leave to go or whatever. And the mom tells her, okay, she gonna wait for her outside. And she ends up saying to Jill and them, like, oh, if y'all could give me a different lawyer, then I probably could get out of this conservatorship. Right now I haven't been able to do anything because the lawyer I have is my mom's lawyer. And so they saying they don't have the money. Right now they basically in the hole. They've already put all they have. They don't have anything to put up. And so Jill, again, is talking about, oh, well, I'll go ahead and put it up. I'll put it up with my own money. I'll pay for your lawyer. I'm like, Jill, you going real hard for this girl. Okay, I hope everything work out. And so we get Valeria back in the studio with the same guy again. She's basically saying she's ready. She's going to rap. They like, okay. So at first she's saying ad-libs in Spanish, and he's like, okay, that's cool and all of that, but I need you to come on and give me that rap in English. And then she basically starts to, say the ad-libs in English and then still rap in Spanish. And not for nothing, listen, y'all know how I've been up and down with Valeria, but I got to give credit when credit is due. I'm going to always keep it real. It was not bad. I was like, okay, Valeria, well, maybe we need to get that Spanish album from you, girl, because that was on point, all right? And so basically this time he drops her from the damn song. Okay, I'm like, Lord Valeria, he's over you. And so then we have Naomi listening to different tracks, and she's like, nah, this one is whack. That's definitely not it. And she hears JoJo, doesn't realize it's JoJo at first. And she's like, wait, this might be something. And she was like basically saying that one had a lot of negative comments. It was trying to say that women couldn't rap and all that different kind of stuff. And so when she looks, she like, wait, JoJo? So of course now she pissed. She basically feels like it's E-Rock fault, like he went behind her back and still let her do it. When in all actuality, E-Rock, even though he did let her practice in the studio, or whatever, he did not put it out. JoJo behind was supposed to wait, and she put it out anyway, and I didn't like that. And basically she had just gave E-Rock a look, and he was like, we should talk. But that technically was not his fault. That was some mess that JoJo did, and she's telling them she got her mind made up, and I was starting to be a little annoyed with damn JoJo. Then we had, Jill and Madison there talking to a lawyer, figuring out, how this whole procedure would go, what she got to do. He's telling her he needs all the information. He has to tell her everything. That's the only way he could get her out of this. Then when they go to court, the mother ends up bringing up something about finding her where she was walking past her room and the light was on, and she basically, back then had a gun for protection, and that Madison had the gun. And of course, I guess this was a part that she didn't tell her damn lawyer, even though she swore she had told him everything. And so, of course, what, her mother bringing this up, they basically was saying, like, she was not going to be able to get this conservatorship because they felt like she had this mental break and she was trying to commit suicide or whatever have you. So, of course, if it's a person in that kind of condition, they're not going to get out of it. And then at one point, Madison is acting like she's mad with Jill and going off on her about it, which it wasn't her fault. And then Jill ends up speaking to the mother on the outside and saying, you need to let her, be her. And if you don't let her go, you'll end up losing her. She was like, no, I've never been in your position as a parent, but I've been in her position as a child, basically. And so then, Madison ends up coming and telling her, like, oh, well, I'm free. And they all happy and excited or whatever have you. Thinking like, finally, after all this, she actually helped her and got something accomplished. You still got JoJo going hard, saying no matter what, she want this. Nobody's going to stop her. Nobody's going to make her go back to school. Girl, she was annoying me this episode. I'm like, girl, okay, whatever. Just basically like her mind is done and that's it. She don't want to hear nothing that Naomi got to say. I'm still confused as to why she can't do both. And nonetheless, we get to Madison, and Madison basically played Jill, okay? I had a funny feeling that was going to happen, okay? But Jill, you played yourself, because you out here trying to be Captain Save-A-Damn-Ho, okay? Going all beyond, because you thought you saw yourself in her, in your situation. She ends up telling them that she's taking a damn deal with some damn movie company that was basically affiliated with the same damn company that she was doing her shows with, because she was like, this is so much money, I can't turn it down, and basically turned and told Jill she was going to give her money back, and Jill was like, yeah, okay, girl, whatever. And so then she leaves, and then they all start talking about how they broke, and they ain't got nothing going for themselves. They done put all their money into business. She done threw whatever other money she had into Madison. And so Valeria goes back to the studio and talks to the guy, and she says, I know I messed up, and I know I'm not going to be on that song, but I know I presented myself as a gringo for many years, but I don't want to have that image no more. I want to do something that I'm proud of. I want to, go for what I am and be me and, know where I'm going. And she was like, I know you're an artist too, and so, I just want something that could show my heart. And so basically, show who I genuinely am and what I want. And so he ends up producing a song for her, okay? It was not the song that she originally was supposed to be on with him, but she got a song out of it, and all the girls in her are celebrating, basically listening to it later with E-Rock. And she's like, okay, I'm about to have this hot Latin album out. So I'm like, okay, Valeria, you go. I'm not mad at it. She stuck to her guns, and she got what she wanted. I'm like, you go, girl. So then we have JoJo, okay? Naomi goes to see her, and she was like, look, I'm not going to argue with you no more. I'm not trying to force you to do nothing. She was like, sometimes, I forget you're not a baby. I can see it with my eyes, but my mind needs time catching up, okay? You still my baby no matter what. And she was like, I'm not going to tell you that you have to go back to school, and if anybody's going to work with you in this business, it's going to be me, because I know about the business and everything that entails. And of course, Naomi at this point is like, okay, what's the catch? What's the catch? Because at first she was still trying to play hardball and be like, I'm not going home, because she was basically, I guess, staying there at the studio. And so she was like, there's no catch. She said, I just know that you can do it all. You can have that career, but you can also finish school. And I know how you was on that piano and how happy you was with that. And I don't see why you can't do both. I would encourage you to do both, and I would tell you you can do both, and that I would support you doing both. But I'm not going to force you to do one or the other. And I just hope that if you choose to do it, you're going to choose to do it with me and do it that way. And so she says that she does actually miss it, and she is gonna do both. And I'm like, a bad damn time, JoJo, okay? You taking us all through the ringer for what, girl? For what? Okay? Go ahead and do it. And I guess she just really wanted to feel like she was an adult, because of course Naomi was like, it's your decision to make. And she was like, yeah, it's fully on you. There's no catch. And once she put it in that way to her, then, JoJo was basically down with it. So that's how the episode ended, y'all. It was cute for what it was. What y'all thought about it? Tell me all about it. Put it in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay? I need those subscriptions. Yeah, I need it. Till next time. Toodaloo.